Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Giggle and Grow podcast with us.
A podcast with two best friends where honesty meets authenticity, breaking down life's challenges one laugh at a time.
So thank you for tuning in. Sit back, take a deep breath, and let's grow together.
Hey, welcome back to Giggle and Grow. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Morgan. And today's episode is coming at you from the coziest cabin in the mountains.
That's right. We're on a full-on girls' weekend getaway, and we are officially celebrating my 29th birthday.
We've got snow, snacks, wine, and a whole lot of love here. Whether you're tuning in from your couch or on your commute, we're so happy to have you with us today.
Morgan, we're going to start with you, Miss Bahama Mama, you little tan goddess, you. How was your trip?
Oh my God, it was a dream. I was telling my husband before the trip, I'm someone that usually gets really excited even months before about a trip. And this one was just a little different. I think we've known about this trip for a couple years now. So to me, when we planned it, it was like, okay, I got to put it in the back of my mind. Can't get too excited. We got a lot of things to do in the next 2 years before we even get there. And so, again, it took me a couple days or right before I got here that I was like, yes, I am so excited. Let's go and have this good week to relax, reset, take a breath, all the things we needed.
That sounds good. Yeah. I was actually listening to a podcast the other day that talked about how it's really important to have trips because you need something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And I totally believe that with planning the honeymoon and the wedding, all these things that I'm looking forward to, it almost like makes working not as bad.
I totally agree with that. Actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of this before, but it's called the 2-2-2 rule. So what you're supposed to do is, of course, if you have a significant other or even a best friend of yours that you want to keep this kind of going with, but usually every 2 weeks, you're supposed to go on a date night. Every 2 months, you go for a weekend little getaway. And then every 2 years, you do that big extravagant trip that you're looking forward to.
Oh, I love that.
And it just kind of balances.
So what was your favorite moment from the trip?
There were so many good moments. Getting to go spend time with family is one thing. We don't get together a whole lot. Some live in North Carolina. We live in Colorado. Actually, my husband's mom is now moving to Illinois in the next couple of months. Got a big job out there that's moving them out that way. Actually, really sad because they were supposed to move to Colorado and help us take care of, future things, but it's going to be on a hold for a little bit. Anywho, family time was great. However, when you're talking specifically about the Bahamas, oh my God, guys, the culture, island time, it is so real. It is just crazy how in America we're just so fast going. If someone on Google says they're open from 11 to 8 p.m. and we go there and it's not open, it's all hell breaks loose, right?
Right.
There, it's like, if they're not open when they say, or they're out of hot dogs, or they're out of this or that, or they decide that they don't want to cook it, that's island time. It's okay. It doesn't matter. No one's telling them what to do. It's all what they want. So,
I love that you said that. You said that you wanted a hot dog, and they were like, no, sorry, we don't want to give you a hot dog.
We didn't make them today, even though it's on the menu. We didn't do it. So it's okay.
We're just on our own island time. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah. But even aside from the culture, everyone was honestly just so nice and welcoming. But to go back, my childhood, we spent every weekend summer boating, and that was always my favorite thing. So the fact that we actually did a 3-day boating little tour, more so got to go boating on our own time and visit all these different islands and have drinks and see stingrays and starfish, all the things. That was absolutely my favorite part. We got up at 7 a.m. each of those days, was on the boat by 8, and we were out till 5 p.m. And it was just literally just really chasing the high and low tides and seeing what we could do.
Anything unexpected? Like, what was your most unexpected experience?
Well, It has to do with the boating experience. So we ended up going over to the Pig in Iguana Island. And I'm sure a lot of people that have either thought about going to Bahamas or have gone, it's really known for the pigs, like the water pigs. And so truthfully, my husband and I, before we went down, we weren't going to spend the money to go on that excursion. We were like $200 a piece. That's actually a lot. 3 or 4 hours. I grew up in Iowa. I see pigs and chickens all the time.
Yeah.
But the whole family wanted to go, so we did decide to do it. And looking back, if I didn't do it, I would have been super upset. Like it was a highlight of the trip. We went to Pig Island, and guys, it was the cutest thing ever. So our boat, big catamaran of like 40 people pulled up, and these pigs are ready for you. We got carrots on board. They're coming so towards you, running. So the big mama pig was running towards us, getting into the water, and she actually had about 25 baby pigs the day before. So you saw the whole 25 baby pigs day before we went there, which is like, they said unusual. Like not everyone, of course, gets to see like these pigs.
Baby, right. Like 1 day old pigs.
No, and so the mama pig was running out, and then all 25 baby pigs was running after her. So they all started running into the water, and the guy on board was like, guys, everyone hop off the boat, grab the pigs. They don't know how to swim. They're a day old. Everyone grab one. So we're all running off, literally everyone just running up to the island with a baby pig in their arms, and they're squealing. You should see my face in one of my videos. I was literally like terrified. I was like, I can't make this pig feel any better. It's so cold. But it was so cute.
That's so cute. I love that though. Like, so I feel like if I were to see pigs on an island, I would be so confused because how do they live?
It's just amazing. I mean, so what they said is every few days someone will take a boat out there and they'll go fill up more food. They'll fill up like this big water jug that they created out there. I mean, basically just go and check on these piggies and take care of them. I mean, not to get like all sad and stuff. I was truly thinking about, I mean, they're island pigs. They're surrounded by water. Bad things happen, of course. Health issues go down. And I was kind of like thinking there was a lot less, adult pigs than there were baby pigs. So over time, I'm sure things happen. I mean, my husband and I were walking even further back following one of the pigs through the island, and we ended up running into a dead pig. We did. It was like buried in the sand. You saw its hind legs. I'm like, well, that's very unfortunate, but it's the circle of life, right?
It's part of it, probably. How big was the island?
This was, I mean, it was really small. It felt like you were on like a beach, like a side of a beach when you were playing with the pigs and stuff, the chickens. Now, we also went to Iguana Island, and I was actually terrified to go to Iguana Island. I hate all things like reptiles and lizards and all the things. And they were the same thing as the boat was pulling up to the island. They were ready for their collard greens. They were so ready. You saw hundreds of iguanas coming over the island and like just running down the water.
I think of the movie Holes every time where they're like...
They were actually really sweet. Like I literally started petting them. They're like mini dinosaurs. They're not that cute, but it's okay.
Well, that's cute. Did you guys have any like failed moments?
Our stepdad, or my husband's stepdad, he was all up in the, playing with the pigs, the adult pigs, and it was a really good moment. It was nothing bad was happening. It was just he kind of had turned to go look at the water at the same time that the pig kind of rubbed his leg or his head up against his leg, and the tusk got him just perfectly enough where it left like, I don't know, like a 3-inch split in his leg, but it was a pretty deep cut to where he was immediately brought on the boat. They got like the first aid kit brought out and wrapped it up. He ended up having to stay out of the water the rest of the trip. But I will say our tour guide, he was amazing. He was giving him piggyback rides from the boat to the island so he could kind of go out and do all the things still. Just couldn't snorkel or anything with us.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of crazy. Could you imagine those things getting in fights?
No. I mean, well, there was literally a pig fight. I think someone like saw it happening over there. It was interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, but after the excursion, they went to the hospital there actually. And guys, it's crazy. I mean, everyone knows the healthcare here is pretty wild, but I mean, he got, I think, 6 stitches, some ibuprofen. He had, of course, got like the medication that numbs him to put the stitches in. Yeah. All in all that there was $30 walkout.
That's insane.
Absolutely crazy.
That is crazy. Crazy cheap.
Yeah.
You're like, if you get hurt, just fly to the Bahamas and you'll get cheaper healthcare.
Yeah, right. Let's go get all the things done.
Yeah, and you said it was a doctor that was from the States.
So correct. Yes. So she grew up in the Bahamas. Her family did, and then she went for, I think it was her bachelor's at UNC Charlotte. Can't remember where she got her master's, but of course when she got her master's went back to the Bahamas and has been working in that hospital since, and I'm pretty sure it's government funded or something like that. But yeah,
that's pretty cool.
She's got a gift there, that's for sure.
I love that for her.
But of course, guys, meanwhile, I'm deep in cozy season here and all things tropical, tanness, all the things. I feel like the mountains were really calling me home. I mean, there's something about the beach where I love escaping for some time. But
You need that.
I finally answered. I'm back. We're here.
She's back. Yeah. And I feel like turning 29s in the mountain is honestly peak. I feel like kind of main character energy going on here, but it's been super fun. And we want to know like what's going on for your birthdays. If you want to comment, subscribe to us, big parties, chill getaways, or just even like a solo vibe. I always like to know what people are doing. So please let us know and drop comments in our page, you guys.
I mean, Courtney, since we're celebrating your 29th trip around the sun, we should actually reflect a little. So
Yeah.
what do you think, your 22-year-old self back in the day would say if she saw you now?
Oh gosh. She'd be like, you're so boring.
Yeah.
So I went from this fast paced all the time, going out all the time, to now of a slow pace vibe. I still do things with our friends, but I feel like my perspective has changed these past couple of years, specifically on even just being like a stay-at-home mom and wanting to have that slow lifestyle. And I think a big part of turning 29 for me was just slowing down.
Do you think, and this is just something that I think I personally experienced, was, of course, moving away from my friends in college and my college town and moving in with my husband, or more so fiance at the time. I felt like it wasn't until I was proposed to and we were planning a wedding and all things that it was like I was more focused on wanting to build a life with my spouse or my boyfriend, rather than going out and partying, my friends being the number one focus, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel like that's been kind of a switch for you?
Yeah, I totally think that moving into this new era of being a wife, I think it's forced me to slow down and want to be a wife and honestly fall back into those more traditional ways of lifestyle. Like I do like being a homemaker. I like decorating our house, cleaning our house, keeping it nice and tidy. And I'm not always perfect at that because sometimes I just think it's difficult. But I really like to have this, hey, he's going to come home and it's going to be clean for him. Or like, just things that make him smile is what makes me happy. And it used to be, okay, what am I going to do for myself and how am I going to be successful? And I think I talked about this on the last episode was $100,000. I need to make $100,000. I need to be making $100,000. This is what I need to be successful, girl boss. I need to do this. And I kind of reached that very quickly at a young age I got to my goals very quickly. And then I got there and it was kind of like, for me personally, I looked around and was like, this is not it anymore. This isn't what I want anymore. I want a family. I want kids. I want so much more than money and power and like being a boss bitch. And I still love that. And I think that was really good for me. And I think that's transitioning me to being a boss mom,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? And I think at least for me, as I've been working towards my personal goals in life, whether it's money and success or it's personal goals, I think it's easy to get lost in those goals, that idea of what you have, and then lose kind of really your calling, what really makes you happy and feel that peace and feel that flow in your life. So, you know what? I think that's super important that you are finding that realization or really what you like or makes you you.
Yeah.
And so, you were kind of talking about that here, but what is that one thing you're really proud of wanting to step into? Is it the more of the slow pace or is it more?
Yeah, I think it's my healthy girl era and stepping into, I still drink obviously, but stepping into drinking less, smoking less, doing more things like working out 3 to 4 times a week, getting walks in every day, meditating, journaling. Just sticking to wanting to better myself is a lot more important to me now than it was then, where back then it was bettering my career and now it's bettering my physical, emotional well-being.
Yeah. And as you are really changing kind of your identity or who you are as a person, what is something that you're done apologizing for? What do you absolutely know about?
Yeah. One of the things I think I'm done is going to bed early. It's so funny because my fiance is so different than me. He needs a long time to slow his mind down and it takes him a while to go to bed early. And I've noticed that one of the things that I think has been important to me is going to bed early and waking up early and being able to try and work things into my morning routine. And I think that I used to always apologize for going to bed early or getting tired quickly. And I have realized the older I've gotten, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, I'm tired. I want to go to bed at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And that's that.
No,
you know?
I truly, I love that. I think that was also a hard realization for me. I was someone that was the last to go to sleep. I got FOMO if I was the first one to go to bed.
Yes.
I was like, I got to be the one keeping everyone else uplifted and
real.
go. Yes.
When someone else, I get that when Brett stays up, but it's funny because he just reads his books.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's doing anything. He's literally reading a book. What am I going to sit over his shoulder and read the book with him? You know what I mean? So it's like I've learned to be like, no, this is good for you. Him reading a book is his mental clarity and his step towards bettering himself. Me going to bed early is my step towards bettering myself.
Absolutely.
And so I think he slowly picks up on coming to bed earlier, and I slowly pick up on reading before I go to bed. So there are these healthy habits that both of us, which I love about him. He wants to be healthy and he has this discipline that I see from him, and it motivates me to want to do that as well. And I don't think I recognize that enough. And now that I say it out loud, I'm like, I'm going to go home and recognize that because I don't. I think sometimes we get caught up in this, oh, this is what I want to be. This is who I should be. I want this. I want to do this for myself. And it's like, I need, do this, that. And then we sometimes need to reel ourselves back in and say, well, here's what I am doing. And that is good enough.
And here's what I have. And
here's how far I've come.
Yep.
Right? 22-year-old me was not reading a book and going to bed at 9:30. I can tell you that right now.
Neither was I.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Well, kind of on the opposite side of, things that you're done apologizing yourself for. What's one thing that really instantly brings you that peace in? Is it that time with your fiance? I mean, you kind of got into that.
It is. It's time with him, and it's so funny. We do something that I really appreciate, that we both have learned that we really appreciate about our relationship, is we sit down and we have dinner together almost every night. Sometimes we don't even talk.
Yep.
And we just eat dinner next to each other. And I've realized that is really important to both of us. And it's something that we think is going to be really important when we have a family as well, is just having dinner together and sitting down, making that dinner, getting it all together and sitting down and eating together. Sometimes I'll eat so fast that I'm done before him.
Yeah.
He's a slower eater. So I mean, we don't, we're not perfect, but I think that having that is something that really brings me peace, because it's something consistent and steady that I know I can always fall back on. And when it's ready, ready for me to open up about something, I can do that in a peaceful place.
Right. It's the building blocks that brings you peace.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then I love that you guys do that too. My family was very much people that, if we had to use knives and a fork and stuff, we would sit down at the kitchen table. But most of the time it'd be like, who's getting to the couch first and who's putting on the movie, and we're going to watch the movie while we eat. And not that Sam and I have never done that. I mean, we'll do takeout sometimes and put on a movie and just straight up chill. But we definitely have really tried to focus on, let's sit down at the table, let's eat our meal together. Like you said, whether we're talking or not, it's just kind of that time that we're both sitting down doing something for ourselves. And we usually try to help each other in the kitchen too. It's not like it's on one person, but he might do the cooking, I'll come in and join, kind of spend some time with them, and then I'll do the cleanup at the end, and we can both kind of be done with that together. Go into that next step of our night.
Yes. I remember being young and somebody coming to me and saying, I was in a relationship at the time, and this guy told me that him and his girlfriend would sit down and eat dinner in silence. And I was a young 22-year-old me said, that sounds so boring. Why would you not want to talk to your significant other?
Right. Used to fear me, honestly. Like silence used to fear me.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a bad thing. Are we connecting?
Right.
What's going on?
And sometimes I still think, like, we went on our date for my birthday and he took me to 3 different places, and some of those places we didn't really even talk. We just watched the sunset, and I just laid my head on his shoulder and I just relaxed. And he then messaged me the next day and told me how fun he had. And it was such a relief, because I could be myself, but I still felt self-conscious in moments where I was thinking to myself at the time, oh my gosh, I'm not talking enough. I'm not engaging enough. Is he having a good time? This and that. And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy myself, and whatever happens, happens. And the fact that he reiterated how much fun he had with me and how I was such a good date and he loves that about me, he just justified that me being myself and being quiet and is okay.
No, I love that so much. I feel like late 20s get such a bad rap, but honestly, the growth is chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. I love that. Can we normalize loving the age we're in instead of dreading the next one?
I know. I think I got to keep learning that a little bit more with each year, but we're getting there.
I agree.
Well, let's talk about the weekend a little bit. I feel like every girls trip has its own vibe, and this one has been giving kind of recharge and real talk and just really allowing us to feel where we are in the moment.
Yes, we are going to do some pottery today. I'm so excited. How do you feel? What are you going to do?
Okay, first off, I am so excited. I have been begging my husband to do a pottery class for so long, and it's not that he like says no. He actually really enjoys the creativity and the painting, but it's just one thing that is out of his comfort zone where it's kind of a little bit harder to push him to do. And so the fact that we found this yesterday walking through Breckenridge, I'm like, yes. So,
yes.
Oh my God.
And in the mountains, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be more expensive, but
it's okay.
It's okay. I kind of want to do a bowl.
I was thinking a bowl, or I was thinking like
platter.
A mug. I really love mugs. I've been thinking of like kind of like a non-perfect like line, colorful lines or hearts. Or so. I need something simple because otherwise my perfectionist side is gonna be like, fuck, you messed up.
I know. I'm so worried I'm gonna mess up and be like, this is terrible. So I'm gonna be really slow and take time to do a good job.
Right. Pinterest is our friend right now.
Yes, Pinterest definitely is our friend.
Well, as we're cozy up here reflecting, we want to give you a little moment to do the same, you guys.
Here are some 3 journal prompts that we have for you guys. So first is going to be, what's one thing that brought you joy this week? Second thing is going to be, where do you feel the most like yourself? And then third is, what's something you're proud of that no one clapped for?
I like those.
Let's take this last one and just both answer it. I think, like, what is something that you're proud of, Morgan, that no one clapped for?
I feel so blessed. My problem is I have so many great people in my life that really do a lot of the clapping, but I think it's the behind the scenes work mostly that, the ins and outs of not hitting that snooze button like we always talk about. I think
it's the little things
that really make that you don't share with someone every day.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things that I'm proud of that no one clapped for, allowed myself to be myself.
Yes.
In the moments that felt maybe uncomfortable at the time. And I was just myself, and I didn't judge myself. I learned how to be more calm and at peace with myself when I used to just not even feel comfortable in my own skin. And I think that losing weight for me, I know I talked about this in the last episode, that was something that was huge, was getting into these routines, losing weight. And I don't feel like everybody, nobody really wants to come up to you and say, hey, you look like you've lost weight. But people do say that every once in a while. But, I feel like I have to clap for myself more constantly when I'm trying to build these patterns of healthy lifestyles and healthy vibes.
Absolutely. And I mean, even on lifestyle too, I'm even thinking about now, it goes to podcasts and even business too. I mean, those little moments for me, it's like reaching out to a wholesale client. I'm so nervous. I get so nervous to go in and show people who I am, even though I love who I am and I'm growing. But the idea of someone not seeing that rejection is so frightening.
Yep.
But when you kind of just bite that bullet, you go in and you do it. It is that little clap. No one else knows that feeling that you're feeling, but you push yourself to do it anyway.
And sometimes you have to force yourself to clap for yourself.
Yep, it is true. You have to remind yourself, I just did that. I did do that.
Yeah, and I did good.
Yep.
Well, all right, guys, it is time for us to go paint some pottery, have some fun in Breckenridge, get some skiing in tomorrow, and all the fun things. Thank you so much for hanging out with us during my birthday weekend. Whether you're in your car, your kitchen, or curled up on the couch, we are so happy that you're here.
We'll see you next time on Giggle and Grow. Don't forget to follow, rate, and share this with your besties. Bye.
Bye.